Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Test, test. I can. Let me make sure my mic's not too close. I can.
Yes.
I can. How's this for microphone distance? Too loud? Good. Test, test. Good. Sweet.
1 2 1 2. Yeah. I can only my right ear, but it's okay.
I'm more so in my left ear than my right.
Strike your mouth, he should be allowed to cover it. So I changed my stance on it. In CJJ, you could put that disgusting hand on your mouth. Sub only, I'm gonna bite those fingers off like a chimpanzee. Okay? Just letting you know. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Right. And then other than that, it's standard. Don't do any of the ridiculous stuff like fish hooking or eye gouging, but all subs are going to be legal. 10 minutes of regulation followed by overtime rounds. The arena is roughly between these two pillars right here, right? If you go over it, I'll allow the action to keep going until I tell you to stop. I'm looking for a convenient moment to stop it. I don't want to stop you if you're in the middle of a sub or in the middle of an escape. I'm looking for a moment where it looks like the best moment to stop the action that'll be easy to replicate when we move you to the center. The wall is fair game. If you are on the wall, you can use the wall. I will try to move you off the wall, but again, I wait for the right moment to move you. It won't be immediate. When we get to overtime and there's escapes, you have not escaped until I tell you to escape. Don't think that you have escaped and just stop because you might get caught. All right? Also, I am not looking to stop the action immediately under the escape. I am looking to stop the action after I feel that you have absolutely escaped. So I'll give it a couple seconds. All right? So you keep moving until I tell you that it's over. All right. I have seen people get caught because they thought they were out and they weren't. All right. And then let's see. Does everybody understand how the overtime system works? So you've got your choice of back control or spider web for your attack positions. Do we need to demonstrate that? What the hands are? Eddie? Nope. All right.
You guys know what's up, right?
Yep.
The main thing with overtime is if you're escaping and you look to the referee and say, I'm out, that actually means you're not out. Does that make sense? If you're looking at the ref going, stop it, I'm out, you're not out. So keep escaping. Don't stop escaping. Keep escaping. If you look at the ref and tell him I'm out, you're not out. Does that make sense? So we're not in a rush to stop it. Just like you're not in a rush to, like if someone got pinned in wrestling. No one's just like, you're pinned. They wait. Boom. 1, 2. You wait. Same thing with the escape. If you really escape, you would escape forever. Not, I escaped for 2 seconds and then he got me back, but I escaped for 2 seconds. You actually didn't escape. So we're looking for pure escapes. So just keep escaping. Good. I think that's it. We're get down rules in effect. All right, this ain't Oklahoma State. We don't want to wrestle that much, okay? This ain't Iowa, all right? Just get down. Let's do some jiu-jitsu. Question.
Is it 1 minute get down or 2 minute get down?
1 minute get down. 2 minutes too long.
30%.
Eventually it'll be 30-second get down. Eventually. 5-second get down.
We need to get a timer. Any volunteers for timer?
Anybody know how to keep time? Are you keeping time? Okay. We got
No, she's graphic. So we
Oh,
need
okay. Anybody know how to keep time? Anybody have a phone? I know you guys hate phones. You got a phone? You know how to keep time? Okay, let's do it.
All right.
I was responding.
Here's a piece of paper in case you have to write down.
Hey, make sure you give Coach I
I got a point.
What was that? Flying now. Yeah, we don't want anybody's leg.
Figured it was.
Yeah, we ain't, this ain't.
Yeah, and we're not doing any flying scissor stuff, like no jumping, takedowns.
This ain't.
Yeah,
You could jump guard. There's no. We're alive. The Kazi Bozani, whatever those Japanese call it. Flying scissors. I get confused with all those names. Is it Kazi Bozani?
It's Copy Balami. Karate Muhammad. Johnny Salami.
No. Hold on. Come on.
Hey, in the past, situation out here, private club, private show. We have a lot of kids here tonight, so let's keep it PG-13. I don't want anybody yelling and cussing and saying, anything that kids would be influenced by. All right, we got a lot of kids tonight, so no non-kid stuff. Okay? Yes, sir. Does that make sense? Keep it clean again.
Miguel's a new addition. Austin's a new addition.
So that's the first time that's ever happened.
What?
There's kids and like
Oh, at Tempe here?
we can't smoke and stuff.
Wow.
It gets way more rowdy, you know. It's better content when everyone's excited.
Let's do it.
Oh,
And here we go. All right. Slide audio on the right.
Kiss coin.
You got the worst kiss music.
That's all I had.
Give it Chris. That's why they had it, because nobody wanted him. That's the worst one. Really? Yeah, he's the worst one. I saw this.
Whatever, Eddie. All right. Camera A, are you ready? Wait, I gotta frame you guys.
Yeah.
Are we good here?
Yes.
Camera A is ready. Camera B, are you ready? Graphics, are you ready? Yes. Timekeeper, you ready? Gentlemen, are you ready? Yep. Are you ready? All right, let's hit it.
My name is Mike Wilson. I'm from 10th Planet Whittier, commentating today along with my co-host.
Andrew Murillo from Jiu-Jitsu, Indiana, California.
And we are here at the 10th Planet Qualifiers, the Bantamweights in-house tournament to see who will represent 10th Planet in the CJJ Worlds in July on UFC Fight Pass. Thank you guys for joining us here today. Andrew, looking forward to a really solid bracket and a fun day of grappling ahead right now.
I'm pretty excited, Mike. I see Blake here.
Points. Start off balancing
Is
and
it
go
blue
left,
belt
right.
out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Nashville? Number
That's
10
he gets 2 here.
Miguel here. Is that a Palmdale?
He's going over back.
Yeah, Miguel Bertrado, purple belt out of 10th Planet Palmdale. So what we're doing here today, guys, is the lower seeded grapplers are going first. The 4 top seeds in the bracket have all received buys. So this is kind of the win your way in sort of seed of the tournament. Right? There's 12 competitors. Again, the top 4 getting a bye in the first round. So those bottom 8 seeds are competing to advance. And we see some action here from Blake on top, and that is Miguel on the bottom.
Looks like Blake's leaning pretty heavily in the guard here. What do you think he's looking to set up as far as getting past those legs?
Right now, I think these guys are kind of just filling each other out, playing a little hand fight. He's getting a little inside control established. But definitely, I feel like these guys are still in that feeling out process. First match of the day. And, you know, these guys are fresh. They're not sweaty yet. Little body lock action look from Blake.
Miguel's got a pretty tough guard to pass, it looks like. He's able to frame his hip out pretty good there.
Yeah, Miguel looks composed. Blake's doing a good job of stapling the near side arm, kind of controlling in that leg weave. And again, I think this is a good example of them feeling each other out. Yeah, it's okay. You can just keep talking.
Okay.
If it comes back on, it's normal. So they might be recording right now.
Now to the full guard. I like Blake's frames in the armpit there. Seem to really be shutting down Miguel's ability to break Blake's posture.
Blake trapped in the closed guard of Miguel Bertrado.
Miguel climbing the legs up, working on the high guard.
You're giving him what he wants right now. Posture. Hands in the armpits, knee and ass.
Good little arm trap a la Mario Sperry from the top position. Blake doing a good job of trying to control that arm underneath, but was not able to maintain control. You got Miguel working that arm drag action here from the bottom, but ultimately we're going to need to see Blake make a big effort to open up this guard.
I like that angle. More angle, more drag,
Triangle blade. Hands in tight, posture up. You gotta get your shoulders back. Some of you take that. Look up to the sky.
You know, one thing I'm seeing here, Andrew, a lot of clinch positioning from Miguel, but no attempts at a rubber guard so far. Kind of interesting. He's gotten his legs up pretty high, and he's created some angles. Like even right here, he may be able to throw up mission control or free New York position. If he's able to get on one hip, Blake is staying very broken down.
Yeah, it seems like he's taking a more conventional approach to keep his posture broken, but no signs of really throwing those legs up to try and control that high posture there and get that high guard going.
second. If you guys are just joining us or just getting maybe our audio back, we're here live at the 10th Planet Qualifiers in downtown Los Angeles, 10th Planet headquarters. It's the Bantamweight's 135-pound division in-house to see who's going to represent 10th Planet in the CJJ Worlds.
Here we go, we got the guard open.
Slow him down, slow him down.
We've got Blake Dodd from Nashville, standing position, taking on Miguel Bertado, purple belt from 10th Planet, Palmdale, in the bottom half guard, butter half position. And just kind of more from what we saw in the beginning of this match, Andrew. These guys are just kind of figuring one another out. It seems like Blake has tried that body lock a couple of times. He looks like he's in a way better position now. He's getting his head to the far side and stapling the shoulders along with the hips of Miguel.
With the staple there on the bottom hip, looks like he has some good control on his foot.
You see a little back step to the back. Somebody.
Onto a truck.
Samurai
Oh,
roll.
flips the truck.
Oh, and a good submission calf crank by
What a-
Blake Dodd. That samurai roll to the calf slicer.
The little smoking pistols coming out there. It was a great calf crank. Good flip on the truck position. Nice win by Blake Dodd there.
Thank you, Eddie. Oh wait, Brandon, could you rough this one? And it's
All right, guys, and here we are coming up on the second match of the day. A little referee change out. Referee Scott Ross is going to coach his student Sam. And Brandon McCaffrey going to step in as a special guest ref.
Battle of the Sands. Farron Davis, also out of 10th Planet in Nashville, a brown belt over Tim Freeman.
It's hard to get that chlorophyll out.
Sam Davis flying the Ventura flag today.
Tello.
Tello, excuse me.
Everyone's getting confused. Battle of the Sams. That's all we need to know. There can only be one. One Sam is going to move on. Again, Sam Davis in the purple Valet Tudos and purple shirt. Sam Tello from Ventura in the all black. And here we go, Andrew. A little bit of stand-up. Guys are hand fighting. Little extended for both parties, but let's see if obviously one guy wants
Nice
to.
single. He comes in for the single. Maybe running the pipe. Ooh.
Davis with that tight guillotine forces him to relinquish that single.
Good chin strap control. Let's see if he passes or possibly moves to the back with this. Oh, I think he's going to commit to the Japanese necktie here.
Yeah, he's switching it off a little bit to an anaconda. Davis trying to roll through and maintain a mount position. May end up in 100%. Tello is in that
underhook.
100%. And Davis is going to look to mount or perhaps even take the back off of that if he can switch his feet.
Oh, he's getting a figure four grip here.
He's going back to the Darce. And it's looking pretty tight. I feel like Tello definitely has to respect it. He might be in a position where he's not getting choked, but he's getting cranked. What can you see from here, Andrew?
I can see that if he possibly put his, if Davis put Tello's head in the center of his sternum, he could probably have a better chance of getting some leverage on that neck there. But it seems like he has just enough space to hold off.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of framing the hip, but his legs are entangled, and if his legs are going to stay entangled, he's definitely going to keep a lot of cervical pressure
Push up on his elbow a little bit.
on his own neck. So I would like to see Tello get his feet free as well as maintain that hip frame, but Davis has really got it strapped in, and I feel like more and more pressure is coming down on that cervical.
I think he had the right idea pushing that elbow up off of that hand, kind of relieving that control there. It might give him an opportunity to scramble up to the top side.
Yeah, he's got his right arm, his right hand on like a handshake grip for defense, and now it's starting to come out. And Tello escapes.
Now he's on the legs.
Into a nice honey hole transition.
Double trouble. He's got both legs controlled. Smart play. Stomping the heel now. And going for our Texas Cloverleaf submission finish.
Feigning that
There
toe
it
hold.
is. Let's see if he puts his hands together and stomps it through.
Let's see how Davis defends this. If Davis is going to go ahead and try to clear his knee line, he
Ooh,
looks
he
like he's
switched
going
to
to get
the heel
stuck. Ooh, good
Right on the
pummel.
legs. You know, I love a good leg lock fight.
It's a good
Davis-
honey stick attempt.
Yeah, attempts to counter. You know, it's bold. Staying in the pocket, fighting it out. Versus possibly escaping, retreating, and standing and passing again.
And now a little
Tello doing a
guillotine
good
here
job,
from Tello.
top control. And here we are in the lockdown, one of my favorite positions.
Tough scramble. Tello ends up winning the high hip position, coming up into that cradle pass, headlock pass. Let's see if he can drop his ribs there on Davis and make this a little bit tighter with his right arm, which is exactly what he's doing. I'd like to see him tuck his elbow.
Yeah, I like that headlock position he's got right now. And getting that hand on the chin.
Doesn't seem super concerned with freeing his trapped leg. Getting some corner instruction from his coach, Scott Ross. It's going to be tough to finish a squeeze from this position where your hips are not aligned with your shoulders, but it's a good position of control.
Davis seems committed to this half guard.
Maybe. He's kind of given it. He's
Yeah,
kind of
he
given
is.
the opportunity to Tello to pass, but Tello doing a good job of control. Davis needs to maybe think about putting a hook in and kind of letting him pass, putting that butterfly hook in, because just leaving his legs open while his left leg is so intertwined knee to knee is not going to free himself. He needs to put a hook in, let him kind of backstep pass, and then maybe scramble from there.
And it seems like he's got a good amount of space between Tello's arm and his neck. Davis there.
Not a conventional position you'd see a lot of.
No, I agree. Maybe Tello's hunting the Kimura on the backside. No. And they scramble out.
Same guillotine attack on the other
He's
side.
Still attacking the neck.
Yeah, Tello seems to have found a chink in Davis's armor where if you're able to control the head, it's definitely slowing him down. Shut down a lot of his attacks and sweeps.
I like this mini stomp that Davis has going on right now. A lot of potential to elevate the leg, possibly scramble up.
Stay heavy on the head. Keep your weight on the head. Back on his back.
Switching off into that head and arm position. Almost a high step into mount. Now in the 3/4 is Tello. And now he's looking for that mounted go-go. Oh, went for it. Did not gain the position. Ends up in a scramble.
Good, good. That crab in.
Tello kind of looking in that Berimbolo crab ride position. Davis looking a little too comfortable, not terribly concerned. He's going to give up the side control position. Looks to snatch a neck, ends up on top as Tello goes for the back attempt, ends up on bottom.
Tello seems pretty confident.
It's interesting. These guys kind of have a similar mirrored game where they are both attacking the neck in a guillotine anaconda variations.
Let's see if Tello throws up the leg and starts to play rubber guard variations. Looks like Meat Hook could not be very far away, and he goes for the triangle choke.
He gets that slap triangle,
nice.
and it looks.
Nothing looks in.
Yeah, he's got that foot trapped into Davis's inner thigh, and now looks like if he can cut that angle, mounted triangle it is.
Nice.
And let's see if he's going to bump that arm by. Davis has got the frames with the arms, but he's still in a very tough position to work out of here, Andrew.
Yeah, he gives up the triangle control.
Might be tough to see for our fans at home from the position of the camera, but we can see that Tello has actually uncrossed his legs. He can easily regain it if he posts to his left hand and hips out, but it looks like he is going to attempt something else, perhaps a rear triangle variation.
There it is.
He reslaps on that conventional triangle and starts cutting an angle under the far side leg.
Mm-hmm.
Now
There
it's
it
looking
is.
tighter.
Controlling the posture. This might be the end.
Davis hanging tough. Davis, you know, no disrespect, but he's a thin guy. He's a skinny guy. He's got the thin neck and thin shoulders. So Tello looks really long with his legs, and that's going to be tough to create a lot of choking leverage on that. Just as I say that, it looks like it's getting tighter.
If he can get a good bite on the posture,
I like this Omaha grip right here that Tello's swimming towards. Once he locks those hands here, Andrew, I think he's going to be able to generate the proper leverage to be able to choke him.
Oh,
great
tap.
Offense by Tello with a submission victory. Congratulations to him. What a great setup and submission.
Again, this is the 10 Planet Qualifiers, and the winner will go on to Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, the Bantamweights, Sunday, July 30th in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, inside the Poliforum Playa del Carmen.
All right, Andrew.
All right, we've got Spencer Harris and Michael Meneses. Spencer out of 10th Planet Santa Barbara under Jeremiah Vance. I've seen Spencer compete before. He's got a really good body triangle game. He's got a really good back attack. Good guard, so I expect to see good things from his guard coming out of Jeremiah's camp, that's for sure.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Mike Meneses out of 10th Planet Orange. He's a brown belt. We've also seen him compete here at the 10 PQs as well as the team duels representing Team 10th Planet Orange County. He's definitely a consummate competitor. He's out there competing pretty consistently. This is definitely a weight class that he's going to be more adapt to, being a 135er, kind of a natural 135er. We've seen him take on guys like Derek Rayfield in the 10 Planet team duels, which is not an easy match for anybody, as
Definitely
Mikey shoots that head inside single, getting caught in a kind of Kimura position.
Yeah, Spencer's got this Kimura threaded through.
Looks like he's going to be in kind of end up in a crucifix-like position. If he can kick his legs free and maybe land in a Kimura trap, what do you want to see him do from here, Andrew?
Potentially, I'd like to see him hold that Kimura, free his leg, and possibly roll to the back. One of my favorite. There it is.
Great transition. Good call, Andrew. He used that. Kimura trap roll to the back, attacking nice and tight on Mike Meneses.
Looks like he's going to the truck from here. I like that triangle on that bottom hip there. He switches.
Yep, he's definitely
Hunting
looking
for a
some
twister.
Yes, he is. He's hunting for that truck control, right? Mike's doing a good job of trying to pummel his trapped leg free. He's definitely no stranger to this position defensively, but Spencer's got a really tight triangle on that truck position. Like, that squeeze on Mike's thigh is impressive. I could tell how much pressure he's keeping control of Mike's hip with that body, with that triangle on the thigh.
And look how patient Spencer is in this position. He's just waiting it out, making sure he can keep his Mike's bottom hip locked, and he's out. Good job on Mike.
Good defense.
Free his leg, turn his hips out.
Back on the feet. And let's see if Mike Meneses is a little more cautious about shooting those head inside singles. And he's definitely not going to accept the bottom position. Great shot from
Nice
Spencer.
double.
Well timed. Going to use the wall.
And Spencer dishes out, resets, opts to stand and pass.
Try to go under, or you start working your knee cut, yep. Close up that guard. Get that elbow tight to your stomach.
He's got that New York, switches to the meat hook.
He's got the meat hook with the butterfly hook inserted. Mike's doing the right thing, keeping Spencer's attack side against the wall. I would definitely keep walking my hips out towards the wall if I was Mike.
Mike, do you see any kind of benefit with the butterfly hook versus possibly stomping that foot on the hip while setting up your rubber guard?
You know, I definitely like to step on the hip personally. I like to push off and pinch my knee really tight, kind of control that far side arm. But, you know, sometimes you're just, especially against a wall like this with no pads, sometimes it's just not, you're not able to do what you want to do. Your hips are kind of stacked. As we see Mike Meneses kind of bully his way into this butterfly pass. Much more physical match than we've seen in the first two matches here, Andrew.
Yeah, a lot of action.
A lot more wrestling.
Exciting match.
Crowd is starting to get into it more.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing more positions from both competitors.
Mike Meneses is known for getting smacked in the face at these 10th Planet Qualifiers. It catches another one here today.
Well, we are getting ready to go to CJJ, so we might as well get used to it now.
Take a shower, worry about that get down that's coming up. 20 seconds, get down. 20 seconds.
20 seconds remain before the get down rule goes into effect. Mike Meneses elects to pull guard before that happens.
Well, Spencer leading with the knee now.
Spencer getting that far side underhook. Let's see if he's going to be able to smash through the knee shield. You know, Mike Meneses being such a shorter competitor, he's able to really keep his knees tight to his chest. It's such a small space to pass through just physically because Spencer's knees are so much thicker and longer than Mike's. It's just a tough space to see him passing through. As you can see, Mike's just able to hold that leg unconventionally just by kind of pinching his knees.
Yeah, I've trained with Mike in the past, and he definitely doesn't have an easy guard to pass. Spencer, though, settling, knee on belly in the scramble. Ends up with the guard pass. Spencer doing a good job trying to keep Mike flat. Mike's getting on his side.
About to enter the latter half of the match coming up. Perhaps we're going to see some of the conditioning come into play here, Andrew. Which one of these guys has maybe been preparing for competition lately? You know, that can have a dramatic effect on the momentum of a match.
Absolutely, I agree. Cardio is definitely a big factor, especially when it gets into the later rounds of these tournaments.
Yeah, these two guys, part of the lower 8 seeds. Nice little octopus guard attempt here from Mike Meneses. Ends up, might be getting trucked, but rolls through on the chest wrap. I like that. Kind of a wrestling look here from Spencer.
Cross faces, move to the back.
Mike Manessa's doing the right thing, getting both arms underneath that leg so when he rolls through, he can end up on top. And
Top
more or
position.
less makes that happen.
Good call, Mike.
Comes into the almost a headquarter position, ends up in the butterfly. Nice off balances here by Spencer.
3 minutes to work, Mike. Heavy chest pressure on that top knee.
Good controls on the bottom from Spencer. I like how he's controlling that far side elbow. Mike gets a little back step action.
Nice, and Mike's almost past the guard.
Good recover from Spencer. Now in that standing passing position. Again, Spencer Harris at a 10th Planet Santa Barbara training with Jeremiah Advance, one of the best rubber guard guys in the world. Mike Meneses in Orange County training with the likes of Michael John in Orange, Isaac Cordova in Fullerton, two guys who are consistently competing. Nice little back step into that arm bar, but Mike's entangled in the legs, and I feel like Spencer's going to be able to use this to free his elbow line.
Great defense by Spencer on the arm bar. It looked like Mike had a good look at that.
Yeah, he had a nice little sit into that arm bar, but he was a little bit high. Spencer got his legs into it, and I think that's going to help him defend. It does. Crab ride ends up in a half guard pass, and Mike's starting to put the pressure on. I think this is what we were talking about earlier, Andrew, the conditioning. You could see Mike is picking up speed, getting some love from the crowd, and I think the conditioning of Spencer is starting to come under question here. He's looking pretty red in the face. We're not seeing as many explosive movements.
Mike doing a good job keeping Spencer flat on his back here. It's a good time to settle and be heavy.
Yeah, he's still got about 2 minutes to work here. Not a ton of time, but definitely enough, especially if your opponent's tired and you're in a dominant position, as we see here from Mike Meneses in the top north-south position. Maybe buggy choke.
Potential buggy choke.
Nothing going there. Doesn't have the arm position in front of the head. What would you like to see Mike do to here, kind of go for the finish, Andrew?
Well, it looks like he's hunting that arm. It'd be nice to see him finish this thing.
It looks like he's got a way better grip on it this time. The legs are not in a position to really entangle him. His hips are pretty far back. He inserts that second leg, and now that arm is starting to come. And it's looking like he's going to be able to break that grip, Andrew, if he's able to leverage his body. And Spencer Harris is holding on by a thread right now. Mike Meneses needs to break that grip to get this finish. Can he do it? Getting some instruction from his corner on how to maybe break that grip. He switches his deep hook. Elects to go back belly down, shin behind the head, Andrew.
And he'll swing it through. He can drop that left hip to the mat. What a great match. Tons of action.
Great defense by Spencer Harris. Way to survive that arm lock attempt.
Valiant effort by both competitors. Now we'll move into the overtime portion.
Mike gets first pick as the more aggressor of the regulation period. He gets the pick of offense or defense first. He elects to do offense, and it looks like he's going to take that arm that he was just working on, and that's smart.
I think that's a smart pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get right back on that arm he was attacking. I'm sure Spencer's pretty fatigued on that side. As you mentioned earlier, his conditioning, I mean, it looks like he's trying to get his breath here.
Little controversy on the bottom restart position. I think Spencer was doing a good job of biding himself some time, giving him the wrong arm.
Hey, man, you got to game the rules sometimes, man. The goal's to win.
I'm not mad at it. Mike Meneses here in the spider web position. Definitely got the supporters in the house tonight. He's got his feet crossed in front of the face. So far, it looks structurally sound. I would like to see him punch that deep hook in a little bit tighter, get a little more of an elbow to the far side. But, you know, Mike's got his strategies. Let's see if he's able to do it.
Mike would like to control that near side leg with his left arm. There it is.
Hitchhiker attempt by Spencer Harris.
It's extended. Good corkscrew out by Spencer. And not too much ride time there.
No, unofficially, I would put that at about 20 to 25 seconds, Andrew. And that's unofficial. Spencer Harris going to go ahead and elect the same spiderweb position.
Well. Jeremiah Vance in the corner coaching. Watching his competitor intently. Again, coaching Spencer to control that near side leg. Got the feet crossed, but it doesn't seem like he has much of the shoulder controlled here on his far side. But he did grab that near side leg, and so Mike's rocking back and forth, but control of that near side leg really prevents your opponent from sitting up and stacking. Now
Mike Meneses doing a good job of getting his legs utilized into the defense here. Like you said, he's doing a really good job of rocking up and down, Andrew. But Spencer Harris being the longer grappler, I think he's able to kind of put a lap belt with that leg control on Mike Meneses to his far side hip and thus keep him under control.
I'd like to see Mike bring his foot to that far side armpit there. It'd be a really good way to get Spencer to relieve control of that arm.
Freeze
the
legs.
Up. Nice.
Freeze the legs. Mike Meneses on top looking for the defense. Can he free himself?
And Spencer regains control of that near side leg. Controlling the hip makes it really difficult to get up and get out of this position.
Oh,
Can't get your right knee up on the mat to stack.
He's going for that arm crush variation. Mike Meneses with the famous douchebag position. Foot in the face.
He is, and he gets on top. Great bridge by Mike. He's almost out.
He looks like his elbow line is really not moved much in the way of escaping.
Good stack. Let's see if Mike can get this arm out.
He's trying to shake, but he's got to be careful not to be extended, and he escapes.
Good job.
The arm lock attack from Spencer Harris. Unofficially, Andrew, 1 minute 30 ride time. Unofficial.
Unofficially, definitely more ride time from Spencer here. Now Mike's going to opt to the back, so he switches his strategy up a bit.
What do you think of that, Andrew? Do you think he's worried that maybe he just is way behind in ride time now and he needs to make that up?
That makes a lot of sense to me, Mike. I think it's a lot easier to control for a longer time by controlling the back versus the arm.
Meneses switched to the truck position. He's got a little lockdown on the foot of Spencer Harris. But Spencer Harris makes a mad dash, belly down escape. Is not able to clear his hips.
And it looks like Mike might switch back to the armbar from this position. He's got a bite on it. And he's relinquished his seatbelt control. He's now isolating that left arm of Spencer's.
Yeah, I think this is part of his strategy to control one hip and then the cross-side shoulder. I know that they've been working this in Orange County a little bit, and what this does is this is kind of like a crossbody ride in wrestling where he's using that truck control on one hip and then vehemently controlling the shoulder of the opposite side, making it really difficult for people to belly out and escape the back, which has kind of been a common tactic, as we see there from Spencer Harris, able to hip escape out. But Mike Meneses is able to add some ride time to his score. Is it enough? That remains to be seen. We're going to be here at the bottom of the second. Spencer Harris takes his seat, and he's attacking that same arm. Looks like he felt like he had good enough success in that first round that he wants that same arm, Andrew.
And I think it's really going to come down to control of that leg, not letting Mike stack up on top the way he has. I think Mike has a really good chance at escaping this position now that he's stacking Spencer.
Yeah, he wasted no time getting his hips squared off to the mat and putting all the stack on Spencer Harris. Still a really tight grip, but Mikey's got all the defenses in place. He's got his hand on his forehead. He's got his figure four locked on his hand. And he's starting to pull free. Great escape, great timing by Mike Meneses.
Feels like we're pretty close in ride time with each competitor. Might come down to these two final overtime rounds.
Yeah, these two final innings, I think, are going to decide it. They're definitely very close. I like how Mike Meneses just adjusted his deep hook grip right there. I think that was a thing he was lacking in the first round. And he's going to go for broke in this spiderweb position. That leg is really far away from him, and he really needs it to not get hitchhiked or get bridge into. And there he goes again on the hitchhiker. Full extension here by Mike Meneses. Oh, and that arm is sliding through. Oh, deep belly down position. Rolls him back through on the Juji roll. Still not out. Spencer Harris.
Oh, Spencer doing a great job of turning his thumb the other way.
With the rubber elbow
Oh, my goodness.
escape. That's what I'm calling that one, Andrew. I don't know the official name, but I'm going to call that the rubber elbow because that's a young man's game right there.
I think that's a great way to describe that because
That arm lock was on tight.
that was on.
So Mike Meneses adds that ride time before the escape to his overall score. No more innings for him. Here it comes, bottom of the third for Spencer Harris. Can he take it home and take out Mike Meneses, the higher belt, here at his first 10th Planet Qualifiers? We're going to see, Andrew. Mike Meneses with a heavy stack, as we've seen before from him. And he's out!
Man,
Wow.
wow. That's going to be close.
Very close overtime. Overall, a close match in general. I think Mike Meneses showed really good composure early in the match. Finished strong in the regulation with a strong armbar attack. Had a couple close looks in overtime, Andrew. Spencer Harris really impressed me as well. Did a great job defensively. Had attacks of his own, but here it's going to come down to ride time as they accumulate the times of both competitors. We will have an official decision.
I think, as you mentioned, conditioning was a big element to this match. And Michael Meneses definitely had it.
Winner by right time.
Wow, Spencer Harris with the dub.
Good job, Spencer Harris, the purple belt out of 10th Planet Santa Barbara. Showing great technical prowess. Mike Meneses, a straight killer. Awesome match.
Yeah, really competitive match. Those guys were pretty even. Totally different styles, it seemed like, different body types, but nonetheless, Spencer Harris moving on to the next round.
All right, and here we have Johnny. Johnny, let's see.
Johnny, I'm not going to even try to disrespect your last name.
Mezritsky. I'm going to try.
Mezritsky.
Mezritsky. The green belt.
Green belt,
out of
15-year-old.
10th Planet, Oakland, California.
And he is taking on, who is this, Andrew? Let's see. Oh, this is he was just a recent add-on. His name is Austin Duren, and he's a D1 wrestler, white belt in jiu-jitsu.
White belt in jiu-jitsu.
But
And Johnny last night won his fight-to-win debut. He won his match in 30 seconds. And then they drove all the way to headquarters from Oakland, California, from the Bay Area this morning just to do this tournament.
Wow.
Very impressive. And see what he can do.
All right. Austin Duren from 10th Planet Palmdale taking on Johnny. I'm going to call him M with his last name. You guys can look it up. And Johnny's playing guard on the bottom. We see that wrestling stance here from Austin. I'm dragging a closed guard by Johnny. And Michael Hillebrand has been talking quite a bit about this kid. Green belt from 10th Planet Oakland. What have you heard about him, Andrew?
I mean, he's 15. He's one of the hardest working kids in the gym, says Michael Hillebrand. And everything he does, he wins, you know. And maybe this is one of these this next child prodigy we see coming up in this game. We've seen a lot of really amazing, young, talented young men do very well in these tournaments. So hopefully we see another one today. He's in on the arm bar. Look at that. Great setup.
Wow, great flower
There we
sweep,
go with
arm
the
bar,
tap.
submission. Wow.
That's great. And what an advantage not to have to compete, not too much mat time. Great job,
Wow.
Johnny.
And just as we were saying, Drew, Johnny Mezeritsky, definitely impresses. 15-year-old green belt. I mean, you know, granted his opponent there, technically a jiu-jitsu white belt, but a high-level wrestler. You know, that's nothing to sneeze at when a 15-year-old throws an armbar like that. It's pretty impressive. So that was definitely the fastest match of the day.
I think so.
No doubt about it.
Fastest submission.
No doubt about it. Took us all kind of by surprise. Okay, we're going to be coming up here, Andrew, on the second round.
So it looks like we'll have...
It'll be Isaac Cordova taking on Blake Dodd.
Isaac definitely a standout. Black belt at 10 Fullerton.
Fan favorite right here, Isaac Cordova.
Definitely one of the more experienced grapplers in the tournament. Not just in jiu-jitsu, but in doing these qualifiers.
Substantial difference in the amount of supporters here, as obviously we were in downtown Los Angeles, 10 Planet headquarters at the 10 Planet Qualifier, 135-pound bantamweights.
Camera A.
Winner today going on to the Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, Sunday, July 30th in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on UFC Fight Pass. It's going to be a really amazing event, Andrew. You got defending champion Elias Anderson, Yuki Takashi, representing 10th Planet Manny Vasquez, as well as the winner here today will be the second representative, Gabriel Dafrion, David Weintraub, Marcelo Cohen. A really stacked bracket overall. The day before Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, there's MMA Mexico with the famous Mexican rapper Babo from Cartel de Santa, where 10P representative Abu will also be making his MMA debut. We just saw him 2 weeks ago at the 10 Planet Team Duels representing HQ, Andrew, and he was a really interesting grappler to watch. Kazakh with a lot of skills.
Abu's phenomenal, and then the next day, Eddie Bravo promoted him to brown belt, so now he'll be representing 10th Planet as a brown belt. Pretty excited to see that.
Good luck to him in his MMA debut. I'm sure he'll display his skills. And speaking of skills, we're going to see some on display here. Isaac Cordova from 10th Planet Fullerton taking on Blake Dodd from 10th Planet Nashville. And Isaac, no stranger to the qualifiers. He's a former finalist. He's had a special match at CJJ Worlds before, so definitely one of the favorites. Black belt under Andy Ballmore. Trains with the Orange County squad. I've trained quite a bit over the years with Isaac, one of my favorite guys to train with. Amazing triangles, really worked on his wrestling lately, trying to improve, and good sprawl. Onto the front headlock, looking to maybe get to the back. Just as I said, he's working on his wrestling. Great well-timed sprawl. And here's where Isaac kind of shines. He gets to the back, and he gets these rear triangles or these RNCs, and he's wasting no time. He's going straight to the grip, Andrew.
Very good, very fast finish from Isaac Cordova. I love the way he slid his knee in his opponent's hip to get that back control. Easy work for Isaac. As you mentioned earlier, a fan favorite, and I think definitely favored to do very well in this tournament today.
Yeah, he's got the support here locally, the 10POC squad. It's only about a 30, 40-minute drive to HQ, and he's definitely getting the love, which is great to see. And here we are into the second match of our second round, Andrew. Again, one of the top seeds, Nick Schaft, taking on Sam Tello. Sam Tello representing 10th Planet Ventura, of course.
Another referee change. We have Michael John out here.
Yep, MJ going to go ahead and step in. Nick Schaff, again, a Decatur brown belt under Brandon McCaffrin. And Sam Tello, a purple belt under our regular ref, Scott Ross. So we got EBIQ's perpetual finalist, Michael John, coming in as a special guest referee.
I was talking to Brandon McCaffrey before the tournament, and he's got high hopes for his competitor, Nick Saff. He's a purple belt that's been competing and winning everything he does locally, so this is his chance to start breaking out into the national scene here.
I think he may be a brown belt. At least that's what I got written here, but he could be a purple belt. You could be right about that, Andrew. Nonetheless, we saw Sam Tello in the first round win his match, taking out Sam Farron Davis from Nashville, advancing here into the quarterfinals. Again, we want to thank you guys for joining us today. Make sure to give a shout out to the man, Eddie Bravo, for bringing you guys this free content. Winner today represents 10th Planet along with Manny Vasquez as representatives in the CJJ World. And a nice arm drag straight to the back by Nick.
Wow.
Body triangle, waste no time. Great jump to the back off of that.
Good head position there.
Tight body triangle, and I feel like I'm getting a look from Sam that he maybe wasn't ready for that one. That was a fast explosion into that rolling back take off of the arm drag. Good positioning here from Nick.
Yeah. Sam trying to work his head towards the mat there, putting pressure on that top leg.
Yeah, as you were saying before, Andrew, a lot of hype coming out of Decatur. Brandon McCaffrey talking about his student as Sam Tello defends the early barrage and turns into the closed guard. We'll see what Nick looks like with his guard as he throws on that omoplata to the crab ride to the back. Looks like he's going to have to wrestle up for it.
Good defensive efforts by Sam here.
Yeah, Tello's in on a leg.
Now he's in on a leg. It's great. Playing that Ashi position.
I like how he comes up with it. Defense from Nick. It's his secondary leg involved. Able to extract his ankle. And now we see Tello on top in the knee cut pass attempt. Arm saddle here from the Nick South.
Working on that Kimura grip.
Yeah, he's going to roll through, maybe get that triangle into the arm bar.
Great transitions by Nick.
Ashi position from Tello after barrage of defense. Both guys able to have their coaches with them here today, which I always think makes a big difference. Going solo, especially guys who have traveled into HQ from other parts of the country, it's always really tough.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say there's a level of confidence when you definitely have your coach in your corner. Plus, they can see some things that you might not be able to see from the outside. Looks like we have a good leg entanglement battle here. And Nick doing a good job clearing that knee line. And Sam's doing a good job getting back in on it.
Yeah, initially I thought, well, it looks like a false reap into honey hole. That cross Ashi position, and it looks like he's rearranging his feet into an 80-20 almost. See if he can get a little off-balance exposure here and force the roll.
Back on the heel
and he
hook.
does the inside heel hook finish by Nick Stahl.
That was great.
Let's go blue ball.
He's the next one that must know.
You know about Dick Rob?
I got him, and then I got a 185 or 2. World beater material. He's coming. He's the next one.
Got you the belt? Nah, dog. Got drawstring, homie. This ain't belts, dog.
Thank you, Brett. We're good to go. Yeah. All right, Scott.
Graphics, are you ready?
Graphics, are you ready?
Camera A, you ready? Gentlemen, come closer, please. Hold up right here. All right. Camera B, are you ready? Timekeeper, you ready? Gentlemen, you ready? You ready? All right, let's hit it.
All right, Andrew, and here we go. We got Chris Crawford from 10th Planet Jacksonville taking on Spencer Harris from 10th Planet Santa Barbara. How do you see this one going down?
Chris Crawford's a pretty accomplished grappler, a brown belt out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Jacksonville, Florida, but I've seen him spend a lot of ample time on the mats here with Eddie Bravo at 10th Planet headquarters. So I think it's going to be a good match. Also, as you mentioned earlier, fatigue is going to be a factor, absolutely. So we'll see if Spencer has it in him to go the distance or even hold off Chris Crawford. He's very fast.
Yeah, Spencer Harris had that very long first-round matchup against Mike Meneses. Nice little backside entry into 50-50 by Spencer Harris. And he's exposing that heel. Chris Crawford doing a good job. Ballerina toeing out of there, forcing his rolls.
Shaking it off.
Slipping that heel, but it does have a little bite in there. Ooh, and a nice counter inside heel hook by Chris Crawford. Brutal counterattack. Saw his opportunity, wasted no time, and hipped in for the submission victory. And that was a quick one.
Great work there by Chris Crawford, getting in on the counter from the 50-50 position. And here we have Joe Kai coming up.
You know, as you were just saying, I mean, Chris has been competing quite a bit lately, and his timing was clearly not lacking in that last match. Wasted zero time getting to the action. And here we are down to our final quarterfinal matchup here. We got Joe Kai representing 10th Planet Austin, also out of 10th Planet Decatur. He's a black belt under Brandon McCaffron. And he's taking on Johnny. Say it for me, Andrew.
Let me read it.
Mezaritsky. Either way, we're gonna know this kid's name after today, ladies and gentlemen. After seeing that armbar he pulled off in the first round, flower sweep, straight arm lock. This is no small order, asking the 15-year-old green belt to take on black belt Joe Kai.
Absolutely, you know, even with the D1 white belt that he made light work of in the previous round, it's going to be interesting, you know. And again, we have Michael Hillebrand saying this guy wins at everything. He works hard. He competes all the time. So I'm excited to see how he can do here against 10th Planet black belt Joe Kai.
Yeah, his coach Michael Hillebrand from 10th Planet Oakland, definitely high on the kid. He's said he's very, very talented, like no other athlete he's been able to train in his career. So, you know, a lot of praise coming from his coach, but we'll see if he's ready yet for this level of grappling. You know, going against a black belt competitor like Joe Kai. For those not familiar with him, he's competing quite consistently. A little bit of a hip stomp on that. Oh,
again,
nice attempt.
Using his guard, and he opted to touch and sit originally, like he did in the previous match.
Yeah, tons of scrambling, tons of action here. Joe Kai moving left and right with his passing. Looking for a crab ride inversion.
And Joe Kai, the athlete, with the flying triangle attempt early on.
Yeah, he's looking to take that back with that crab ride. And Johnny does a good job of keeping his hips from being elevated. And Johnny comes up top in the sweep. Unentangles his legs. And again, Joe Kai, a great competitor. He competes in IBJJF tournaments. He's got a ton of experience. All through the South and Midwest competing. Now he's down in Texas. Fun grappler to watch. And the kid, Johnny Mezaritsky.
Look at his composure. Just
yes,
stone cold
face. And he doesn't have his coach, Michael Hillebrand, with him here today. I'm not sure who's in his corner. It could just be his parents or...
Came here with his dad, Michael said.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, he competed in Fight to Win, won his match yesterday, and jumped on the road to come down here and do this today. The green belt out of 10th Planet Oakland.
Good hand fight, long step pass attempt from Joe Kai. But the guard retention of Johnny Mezaritsky, I mean, textbook. You can't really say much more than that. He's inverting to recover his guard when he needs to, and he's creating the angles with his frames and his feet to prevent, having to be pressured. And you see Joe Kai like dive into those underhook pressures, but he's not able to clear the hips of Mezaritsky.
Yeah, Mezaritsky seems fundamentally to be guarded very well. He's doing a good job preventing the guard pass from Joe Kai.
Good hip drop attempt by Joe Kai. Mezaritsky still hunting for those legs, but never really gets to the hips of Joe Kai. Looked for that inverting triangle attempt, but nothing going there. I like Kai's off balances. He has a really good game of keeping his opponent off balance the whole time, not really letting him settle into any positions. Like even here, kind of in the headquarter position, Andrew, you see Kai disrupting the hands of Johnny and never really letting him get the exact grips that he wants.
And Johnny
Ooh, nice straight ankle lock attempt.
Hooks.
Yeah, he went for that straight ankle lock off of that and definitely created some leverage off of it, but Kai able to withstand. And these guys are moving so fast. Nice Kouchi off balance there from Johnny on the bottom. Catches him as he's circling.
As you mentioned, they're moving so fast. I think it's what makes the 135, the bantamweight division, one of the more exciting divisions to watch.
They are very fast and nimble. This butterfly transitions from Johnny, reinverts. Yeah,
what a guard this kid has. Look
this
at
kid's guard is pretty wicked.
And I find it very fitting Michael Hillebrand talked about this kid's work ethic, and I think that's what it takes. He's on the mats all the time, competing every weekend.
Good back step pass from Kai as he heads into north-south. And let's see what kind of attacks Mezaritsky's got off his back in this flattened out position, how he's going to be able to reestablish himself from here.
Kai doing a good job, putting a lot of pressure on Mezaritsky's hips. Trying to keep him nice and flat. Potentially wear him down.
Yeah, I think this is a good strategy. I think Kai tried his normal flashy, a lot of back take attempts, a lot of crab ride attempts, rolling Kimuras. But I think he's now realizing, like, okay, I got to settle this kid. I got to cook him. I got to control his hips and put him in a position where he can stop defending so much.
And Johnny gets his guard
almost reestablished.
A
little something here, but let's see what Kai's going to do if he's going to try to backstep, leg weave those hips, and
on the pass again. Good job.
Able to pass, yeah.
Joe back on that hip control. I like how he has that left arm right under that left hip of Johnny's, just blocking him, limiting his movement, trying to keep him as flat as possible.
Yeah, and good defense here from Johnny. I like how he's staying composed. Not something you see from most 15-year-olds. He's definitely not panicking. Still a ton of time on the clock here, Andrew. I mean, 4 minutes to work. There's plenty of time to see a submission, as we've seen several today happen in a flash. Knee on belly action. Joe Kai's got to watch that little inversion attempt from that knee on belly where he can maybe get stuck in the backside as he does
again.
Double leg pass.
He's found something that really works with Johnny, controlling both hips and that double underpass. And as Brandon's called out, that knee on belly is where Johnny's able to get some freedom of movement with those legs and hips and get that guard going again. And Kai right back in on the pass. A lot of relentless work from both competitors.
Johnny has a little attempt at a back take, and so does Joe Kai. Looks to reverse it, but they're both in that hip down position where somebody's going to have to come on top at a side control, as we see from Kai. And I think he's found definitely a way to control the kid. You know, it definitely helps to have grown man strength when you're dealing with some of these young prodigies. I mean, nonetheless, you got to be impressed with Johnny Mezaritsky here, going quite a bit of distance with Joe Kai as he's in here defending.
Leg entanglement, and he's out. Absolutely, I would agree 110%. I mean, Joe Kai is definitely no slouch. He's a black belt. He's training with the 10th Planet Austin team. He's competing a lot. And again, we have this 15-year-old green belt doing really well, showcasing his skills today.
And he's got that head and arm position right now and a half guard. Kai still got the knee shield in. It's going to be tough to get any chest-to-chest connectivity.
I think he has that arm isolated. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
Little high step, and he's still in the knee cut position with an underhook, but the knee shield work of Joe Kai is really, really well. Really good.
Joe looking to spin under, and there's control of the leg, back potentially backside, 50-50. Opts do the inside heel hook here.
Ooh.
You never know with his knee.
You never know with these young kids. You know, they got flexibility for days. He's still in that rubbery age.
And there Joe goes blocking that hip again. He seems to have a lot of success keeping Johnny pinned when he can get a really good control on those hips. Every time he brings his arms under that hip line there, he's able to control him pretty well.
Yeah, looks for a little back step, seated triangle. Ends up back in tangled guard of Mezaritsky.
Yeah, props on Joe for going for it. He doesn't want to stall out in those positions. He's really looking for the submission here. I think that's really commendable, giving us a lot of action.
About a minute remaining here, Andrew.
1 minute.
So far, it's been a couple minutes since we've seen a strong attack from either competitor. Perhaps both of them knowing the time is waning down and electing to save some gas for the OT rounds. Joe Kai with the headquarters pass attempt.
Brandon McCaffrey going for a Darce choke, and he throws his legs up.
Mezaritsky with the off-balance X-guard into the back attempt, looking to control the feet, outside heel hook, the figure four, Russian cowboy style.
Switch grip, yeah.
But I don't think Kai is going to tap with 10 seconds left, regardless of how tight that could be. They're going to end up heading to overtime. And a pretty impressive showing, I got to say, by the 15-year-old green belt, taking the black belt to overtime. Only 2 black belts in this whole tournament, Andrew, and 15-year-old green belt takes one into OT. Pretty impressive.
Very impressive showing from Johnny Mezaritsky.
They're going to give the selection to Joe Kai, being the more dominant grappler in the regulation period. He elects offense first and takes the back position with the seatbelt and the hooks.
And you can tell by Mezaritsky's actions leading forward that he's no novice to this game, to this overtime game.
Ready, set, go!
Mezaritsky doing a good job of fighting the hands as well as moving his hips. You got to chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, but gets caught around the neck, able to pummel his way to freedom a little bit.
His hips freed. Joe Kai gets his hands
tight.
Together.
That looks tight, Andrew. Great submission.
Got a tap there.
Quick RNC setup by Joe Kai.
20 seconds here. So Johnny has 20 seconds to rebuttal a submission on Joe.
All right, timekeeper, are you ready?
"20 seconds on the clock for Johnny Mezaritsky to submit Joe Kai. Otherwise, Joe Kai moves on in the bracket. Andrew, can the 15-year-old phenom get it done? It's going to be tough.
Oh, he's got it across the neck. Can he get his bottom?
Oh, he
arm
does
out?
have that
And
really
hands
tight
are
across the
together.
neck. He does have it completely across the neck. It's a fully sunk rear naked choke. Can he finish? Time is against his. Time is against him.
Wow. What an incredible match.
Joe Kai survives.
Incredible overtime round.
Johnny Mezaritsky coming as close as you possibly can.
Great
But
job
Joe
by
Kai being announced the victor. Congratulations to him. What a great match.
Great match, very entertaining.
Assuming that this goes, like unless this is a fast match, on deck we've got Chris Crawford and Joe Clark. All right.
They plugged in or they're free?
After this match, we're going to have a special match. Edward Avendano from 10 Planet Burbank. He's a purple belt. He's going to go against our little 15-year-old phenom, Johnny Mezariski. I think I said that right. Mezariski, right? Yes. Damn, I got it. He did such a great job. It was such an amazing match. We're going to give him another little special match coming up next after this one.
All right, now two.
Let's get to work. Trying to sneak in. Remember that back in the day? They said I was being a warrior state. You ever do that? You ever do that? Get like shitty tickets to a concert? Always next to the front. It was like a mission. I just like we just trying to get.
Are you ready for my close-up? Yeah. Don't do a focus.
All right. All right, you guys stay with me. Here we are. Graphics. You ready? Camera A. Yep. Camera B. Timekeeper. Gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's hit it.
All right, Andrew, and we are back to the action. For those of you guys just tuning in, these are the 10th Planet Qualifiers. The Bantamweights winner today of this bracket will represent 10th Planet along with Manny Vasquez at the 10th Planet. I'm sorry, the 10th Planet representative will be at CJJ Worlds in July on UFC Fight Pass. I'm Mike Wilson from 10th Planet Whittier, joined today with Andrew Murillo. And Andrew, we've got a great semifinal matchup here. Isaac Cordova, 10th Planet Fullerton, taking on Nick Saul from 10th Planet Decatur. How do you see this one going down?
Well, I think Isaac is definitely our favorite in this tournament, but from what we've seen from Nick previously, I think he's got a really good shot. Both guys are very technical, and I just think we're going to see a lot of good action here. Nick in already on the foot lock, deep on a straight ankle lock here.
Yeah, Isaac's knee line is
Isaac able to
clear,
clear his knee.
but he does have a strange angle that's going to be tough to finish, and Isaac uses that to go to a crossbody ride almost to the back, rolls through with it, gets the arm around the neck in the process, Andrew, and he breaks that grip as he gets that strangle arm tighter around the neck.
Isaac with the body triangle in now.
Great patience from Cordova, who maybe didn't have the best position, decided to relinquish that choke and focus on positioning in order to maintain this longer. Is that the right play? We will see. Good smother attempts here, trying to disrupt his opponent along with that body triangle squeeze.
And as mentioned in the rules meeting earlier, smothers are legal. That is absolutely okay to do in this tournament today.
Good defense at opening the body triangle by Nick Soff. Still on that Kimura gripped ride by Isaac Cordova. Goes for the belly down armbar roll, loses position, and Stalin's up on top, though he relinquishes right away. Good submission attempt there by Cordova. Same inversion to the leg there by Stahl.
And he's in on a heel hook.
Yeah, Cordova's got a good defense in. He had his feet crossed, and he wastes no time on the defense. Comes right up in the pressure pass into the mounted position. I wouldn't be surprised to see a mounted triangle from Isaac Cordova, and there it is. Nice. Mounted triangle attempt with the Omaha body lock. He's going to squeeze this with everything he's got.
And Nick able to disconnect Isaac's legs.
Good defense by Nick South.
Man, great action in this match here.
I thought Cordova was going to finish that mounted triangle, but he's right back on the action. Here in that Kimura trap position, looking for the back once again. No hooks yet.
Excellent transitions from Cordova. Almost seamlessly able to go from position to position.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's in control of this match. Looking for a little anaconda variation perhaps, or head and arm guillotine. switches it off, maybe looks for Marcelo Teen, ends up in the mounted position. And Cordova's so good at moving his legs even while staying mounted on someone. Very dexterous. Good regard, but right away with this knee staple pass by Cordova, just one step ahead the whole way through.
Feels like
sitting into that shotgun armbar attempt right here, Andrew. Can he finish this? Barely any grip left here by Saul.
He's got that leg through. He might switch to the triangle here.
Good hitchhiker escape all the way through by Nick Saul.
Wow,
Nick
great
Saul
defense.
really surviving the aggressive attacks by Isaac Cordova.
Absolutely, and it looks like every time Nick's trying to get some kind of offense going, he ends up having to use some kind of defense because Isaac's so good at just transitioning from position to position.
Absolutely.
That's exactly where he wants to go.
And South, he's fallen back from top position a few times, looking for that, maybe the false reap or the double outside ashi attempt. But, every time he does that, he's ending up in these cross crucifix / Kimura trap positions. And now he's stuck in the Kimura.
There it is.
Oh! Vicious Kimura by Isaac Cordova.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent work by Isaac Cordova. Transition from position to position. Relentless on his attacks. Beautiful jiu-jitsu by Isaac.
All right, that was the first match of the semifinals. Isaac will be on the final.
Happy birthday.
All these June birthdays, huh?
Captured the audience. That's why you see a shirt. Absolutely
not. Rockfin.com. Look into it. Check it out. Look into it.
Ready.
All right. Get ready. Amber B, ready? Timekeeper, you ready? Yeah. Gino, when you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's hit it.
All right, Andrew, we're back to the action here. 10th Planet Qualifiers. We got a special match in between the semifinal matchup, the final matchup. And we've got Johnny Mezaritsky taking on Edward Arvando. Edward from 10th Planet Burbank in the top white rash guard, taking on the protege, Johnny Mezaritsky from 10th Planet Oakland.
Edward, the newly promoted purple belt at 10th Planet Burbank. We're here at the 10th Planet Qualifiers, 10PQ 29. The winner of this will join Manny Vasquez as the 10th Planet representative at Combat Jiujitsu Worlds, the Bantamweights, Sunday, July 30th in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. inside the pulley.
Ooh, nice armbar attempt and a finish by Johnny Mezaritsky. The far side arm lock attempt and pass. Sorry to cut you off, Andrew, but that one was explosive.
This kid's so impressive, man. I'm just having so much fun watching him. He's 15 years old, a green belt out of 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, Oakland, California.
He came in here. He got 2 submission arm bars today and took Joe Kai, 10th Planet black belt, all the way to the overtime. Really impressive for a 15-year-old green belt. Congrats to him.
And almost submitted him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're getting ready for our final match of the day.
So we've got this match between Joe and Chris Crawford.
Yeah, that's right. The last semifinal matchup of the day. Chris Crawford taking on Joe Kai.
And the winner of this will take on Isaac Cordova in the finals.
There's a, I think there's a Fogo down there. Fogo de Chao. There's also a Lao's prime rib.
That spot's good too. Let's go.
You have a special match? Yeah. Can you tell me that? Or you can tell me more. How old are you and where do you train?
11 and...
I like your rash guard.
Thanks.
I like your rash guard. Can I see your rash guard?
What's that? You ready? All right, graphics ready, camera A ready, camera B ready, ready? General, come in a little closer.
All right, Andrew, and here we go. We got Chris Crawford from 10th Planet Jacksonville taking on Joe Kai from 10th Planet Decatur.
Now 10th Planet Austin.
And I think this is going to be one of the more hotly contested matchups of the day. Both these guys, very, very high level, experienced competitors. And I think they're pretty evenly matched. Both of them got leg attacks. Both of them got strangles. It should be interesting to see how these guys match up.
And regardless of the winner, I think we're in for a very exciting finals match here today.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of quick submissions, a couple of long matches. But overall, a ton of exciting action. We thank you guys for joining us here today. 10th Planet headquarters for these, the qualifiers. Winner alongside Manny Vasquez going to CJJ Worlds. And a nice guard pull into X guard. Transition by Chris Crawford. Off balances Joe to the floor. Inverts for the roll through. And he's in on a little foot attack.
Not a lot of control on the hip, so it doesn't look like that's going to work out. Joe possibly on the crab ride. And he comes up, shelving that leg, getting in on a heel hook of his own potentially.
Yeah, this is one of those matches, Andrew, that has the potential to be a leg lock shootout. It has the potential to be a quick submission ending. It's got the potential to maybe go all the way through overtime. You never know. These guys are definitely pretty evenly matched, I would say.
I really like Joe's previous attempt to transition his guard passing and his leg entanglements together. Falling back on the leg, coming up for the potential pass, and back on the leg. And now the wrestling match.
Flying guillotine attempt there by Joe Kai.
Joe looking to do something with the 2-on-1 potentially.
Great posture by Chris Crawford here in the bottom position, doing a good job of remaining upright, not letting his shoulders get to the mat. Kai doing an interesting control on the foot.
And previously in the tournament, we've seen Joe favor the headquarters position, so we'll see if he opts to try and set that up.
Yeah, Crawford doing a good job
Or
of fighting him out at a longer range, keeping his feet into play, constantly pummeling, not letting Joe really dictate the grip too much.
And 10th Planet, we're calling it the DMs. Let's see if we can slide in here.
Let's go every center, guys.
Scott Ross centers the competitors.
Yeah, we're feeling, Andrew, this is going to be really, really tightly contested. Like, it's going to be who makes the first mistake more so than who is doing everything right, you know. When you get two guys who are pretty even at a high level, that kind of domino effect comes into play with the person who makes the first mistake. So both these guys kind of playing a relaxed game, not being overly aggressive. Still, both of them playing at a range where it's going to be tough for Chris to get any submissions, and it's going to be tough for Joe to pass. They're both kind of playing just outside of the range. And as I say that, Corey steps in for a staple and drops back to the leg. And let's see if he uses this to come up and pass like you mentioned before. He does, Andrew. He's thinking about that back and forth. He couples those two attacks very
Crawford
nicely
in on
together.
a calf slicer, it looks like. There he goes, and it's on.
Yeah, he definitely does have a calf slice attack, but Joe's doing a good job of uncrossing the feet, and that's what you got to do in that position. Untangle those feet. Crawford goes for a hard ankle lock on the far side. Coy able to avoid it. As the competitors square back up and get a little love from the crowd, you can kind of feel that this is a tense match just from the crowd's energy. A nice stiff arm by Crawford to defend the pass, but he ends up in the entanglement. He's got
And
that
Joe Coy with
far
the reap.
side, yeah, that far side reap, collects the other leg. And Crawford definitely looking comfortable here. He has great dexterity with his legs. He's able to transition between the boot and the ballerina toe pretty seamlessly. But we got Kai here attacking that bottom side leg with the straight ankle grip.
He's got the Z-lock on that bottom foot.
Yeah, and
he
he's
frees
looking.
it.
Great job by Crawford to backstep through that and time the offensive attack of Kai.
And Joe in on the pass, trying to get his head out and clear the
Yeah.
hips here.
Got
Great.
stuck a little bit. Do you think that hair has any effect on the passing in that regard, Andrew? You know, sometimes like you see a competitor with a little bit more hair than the next guy, and that kind of gets tangled and caught sometimes in the passing.
Yeah, potentially, but at this level, I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor. Joe passed the guard, again with that great underhook under the hips, working to keep Chris Crawford nice and flat.
Yeah, more of the same from Joe Kai. We saw him do this to the 15-year-old green belt, Johnny Mezaritsky. He was able to control this north-south, reverse Kesagatame position, blocking that near side hip. And controlling the head, doing a good job of it, too. Let's see what would you like to see Crawford doing here, Andrew?
I think Crawford's going to aim to get his hands in Joe's hips here, potentially move him up towards his head so he can invert and throw his guard back in, recovering, potentially attacking the upper body of Joe Kai.
Yeah, Joe Kai's starting to drop his hips a little bit, putting some pressure on that north-south choke. He's done a good job of keeping Crawford from looking in, which is what defensively he's going to need to do if this north-south choke comes any tighter. And Joe Kai doing a good job of slowly walking his hips parallel to the mat. And you can tell it's getting a little tighter because Crawford's giving it attention with his hand now, where he wasn't that concerned about it before. He kind of pulls down on the tricep of Joe Kai, trying to relieve a little bit of pressure. There he is again with that hand, you know, trying to position his neck in such a way that he's not feeling the blood choke aspect of this.
Ideally, I think Chris would like to scoot his hips over to the left here to start relieving some of that pressure. Joe was doing a really good job having his hand under the back of Chris Crawford. He's removed it now. It looks like he wants to put both hands into this choke here and commit.
Yeah, it's getting tighter. It's definitely getting tighter. You see Chris Crawford having to respect it. I feel like he's trying to compose himself on the choke, but that choke is definitely tight. There's no doubt about it. And he switches to almost to an executioner. Maybe not the best idea. Got a little bit greedy trying to finish. Ends up costing him the position. That was the patience that we were talking about from Chris Crawford. Showing composure, even though the choke was tight, he composed himself. Joe Kai got a little disruptive, got a little antsy, and ends up losing position.
And I think we've seen a little bit of that throughout the tournament with Joe, even with Johnny. He was very quick to transition and try and make something happen versus just being patient and settling.
Yeah, he's had such great guard passing that maybe it's part of the strategy if he feels like he can get great shot. I love that Joe Kai stuck with that. You know, Chris Crawford tried to do a little showmanship, ends up paying for it by getting taken down, getting his back taken, and getting a hook put around the neck, and that looks tight. Andrew Murillo, can he finish it? He does! He does! RNC victory in regulation from Joe Kai. And let that be a lesson to all of us. You got to protect yourself at all times. Joe Kai is playing for keeps. It's serious business when he's on the mat.
Great job by Joe Kai. Paid off, stalking his prey across the mat. A great position on the back. Great win by Joe Kai. All right, we have our finalists.
Gotta get better. Last name? McGuire. Maggie McGuire? And where are you from? 10th Planet Burbank. Maggie McGuire from 10th Planet Burbank versus Jack Boland from 10th Planet Palmdale.
All right, guys, and I think for the first time ever, we've got a special matchup, youth special matchup.
And I'm excited. The young 10th Planet representatives. Always great to see the future.
No smothers either. No smothers. No mothers milk? No mommy's milk? Waiting for that projection. Graphics ready. Camera A ready? Camera B.
All right, guys, we got Jack Olin from 10th Planet Palmdale
Are you ready? Go ahead and shake hands.
in this youth matchup taking on Maggie McGuire from 10th Planet Burbank. A couple of local schools here in Southern California. Nice little guard pull there by Jack.
Maddie on the top. And Jack's playing some rubber guard. Look at that. Mission control. See if he can zombie that arm there. Hug his knee, moving to New York. He definitely knows the game.
Great defense by Maggie McGuire.
Excellent.
Had the knee in the rear defense and did not allow the zombie. Is able to posture out of that mission control setup. And she's on the outside passing.
What a treat for us to see some high-level grappling from such young competitors.
Yeah, you know what's amazing, Andrew, is we've seen so many young people develop before our eyes here at the 10 Planet Qualifiers. Obviously, we've seen people the likes of Derek Rayfield.
Oh, she's on the dart on the ninja choke. That thing is locked in, except she's on the bottom side. Jack doing a good job staying patient, getting the top position. Let's see if he can fight the hands.
Maggie McGuire going full send with that ninja choke.
She wants that thing, man.
Jack with the peek out, ends up on top, able to start peeling the elbows a little bit.
Wow, good job, Maddie. And she comes up on top. And great passing from Maddie McGuire. She's doing really good with that knee today. Except Jack's doing a good job recovering guard. In on the leg lock. Whoa, on the knee bar. Oh, man.
Belly down knee bar.
Who's teaching this stuff to these kids? What an amazing performance, Jack and Maddie. That was amazing. I don't know about you, Mike, but
I'm terrified.
I really love.
I'm terrified.
I love seeing high-level leg locks.
The
from
future
kids.
is scary.
I just think it's such a cool thing. These kids get to learn these high-level techniques. I mean, it's still jiu-jitsu. You can't ignore 50% of the body.
Man, those two kids have more technique than I had in the first 8 years of my jiu-jitsu journey, without a doubt. Impressive showing by the youth, the next generation. Congratulations to the kids. That was a real treat for us.
What a bright future, not only grappling has, but 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, man. It's so exciting to see. I love that. You know, I have my own kids program, and I aim to get them on this level. I'm a big proponent of teaching these flintlocks, these high-level techniques to young people, because they're going to be old enough to use them in tournaments, and, you know, we've seen it change so much over the years. So I think it's just a matter of time.
It's already here. All right, guys. It's come down to this, Andrew Murillo. We've got Isaac Cordova from 10th Planet Fullerton taking on Joe Kai, representing 10th Planet Austin in the finals. And I think, you know, a lot of people, if you really got a chance to look at this bracket ahead of time, a lot of people could have predicted this. The only two black belts in the tournament today, and here they are meeting in the finals. That's kind of what you want. You want the two top dogs to meet and battle it out for supremacy to see who's going to represent 10th Planet at the CJJ Worlds in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And that is coming up on July 30th, Sunday, July 30th, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, live on UFC Fight Pass. We're going to have special guest UFC champion Brandon Moreno, famous Mexican rapper Millonero. Got defending champion Elias Anderson, Yuki Takashi, Tempe's Manny Vasquez, Gabriel Dafrion, Marcelo Cohen, day before Combat Jiu-Jitsu, MMA Mexico will be in effect with some live MMA fights. 10P representative Abu making his MMA debut. And the last Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds event in March has been the most watched show in UFC Fight Pass in the U.S. this year. Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. Making their name.
It's incredible to see how far it's come. Combat Jiu-Jitsu and, Eddie Bravo Invitational with Fight Pass. When I started 12 years ago, I never could have imagined
being where we are today, right?
It's amazing.
I mean, Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds is definitely one of the top events as far as production, but definitely one of the top events as far as talent. And we see a great body lock stand up there from Isaac Cordova. The get down roll was in effect. He got to start in the butterfly double unders, uses it to sweep right away. And that's how it goes sometimes. Remember, guys, there is a 1 minute get down rule in effect. If you're on the feet doing the wrestling, no takedowns happen in a minute. We will force a get down to force the action. And we're going to see a little body lock here from Isaac Cordova. Ends up having to ditch it to maintain his balance, but he's looking for his Kimura trap. And I feel like Joe Kai is digging his right arm under the leg of Isaac Cordova to kind of stop the pass.
Looking to potentially move deep half if he can turn his hips over, really swim that underhook under this leg of Isaac. Isaac doing a really good job of keeping his knee glued to Joe's hip here.
Yeah, he's got a good bite, kind of like reverse lockdown essentially on that leg. But
what
Isaac does really well is he uses that into a crucifix position with the far side Kimura. So if he can dig out that far side Kimura.
Joe here in the deep half position. A lot can happen. He can use it to sweep. He can use it to get back in on the leg. We'll see what he does with it. Doing a good job keeping his elbow high, and he just gets his guard back. Excellent recovery from Joe. Isaac with such amazing technical passing today. Those cross steps, back steps, great pummels with the legs. I mean, Isaac moves so well. Joe just keeping his points about him.
Yeah, a lot of long step attempts from Isaac as he drops down to his knees. We're almost 6 minutes into the match. Andrew, no sign of slowing down from either guy. Quick little inversion.
Joe working towards the back, it looks like. Comes up.
Yeah, Isaac's going to force the wrestle up. Joe does a great job heisting that leg, tree-topping it up, forcing Isaac's hips to the ground to play the bottom position. And both these guys are very physical competitors. Strong guys for the weight class. I mean, only being 135, both these dudes are very, very wiry, strong. Similar body types, long and lanky. Great leg locks from both guys, good strangles. I would say Isaac Cordova more of a triangle guy. Joe Kai more of a RNC guy, at least what I've seen from him in the past. So should be interesting if we will see a sub here in regulation. And again, could conditioning be a factor, Andrew, because, Joe had a little bit of a longer match going through the bracket, right? I mean, Joe had to take on Johnny, which went the distance, and then he went and got ahead of Chris Crawford about 8 minutes into a 10-minute match with him. Isaac, on the other hand, getting relatively 2 faster submissions. I mean, he got a sub in the first round super quick, and then eventually also finished Nick Chef in the semifinals. So Isaac, the fresher of the two, will that have some sort of effect if we go into overtime?
Mike, I think it always has an effect. The least amount of mat time possible in the tournament is definitely to your advantage. So we'll see if Isaac gets to use that advantage to get the W today. And Isaac on the pass. Now with that knee putting pressure on Joe's hip there, steps over.
Ooh, Kimura
Potentially
grip
hunting
set
a
up here from
Kimura.
north-south. And we saw Isaac Cordova finish a Kimura in the semifinals against Nick Saul, also from 10 Planet Decatur. So could be something to watch out for. Isaac's got those variations of strangles, arm attacks, and leg attacks. We've seen him do kind of all of it. And I definitely feel like the conditioning is an issue here because Joe does not look quite as sharp as Isaac locks up a Dars triangle almost, and it looks like he's finished it. Yes, indeed, he does. Isaac Cordova, your 10th Planet 135 qualifier champion, and he's headed to Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds July 30th in Mexico, Playa del Carmen, on UFC Fight Pass.
Incredible.
Yeah, for the next 10 years. Thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Hurry up. 5, real picture, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Get out the way so we can keep going. Thank you. Okay. Probably want to raise our hand first.
My dog.
And
Cordova, baby.
Joe Kai.
Hey, good work. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Coach.
You look better than ever, guys.
Thank you.
You hit another level.
Thank you.
You're like the super pro, super professional, high level black belt. It's time now. Now it's time. It's time. It's time to take it to the next.
All the way.
Hell yeah. I'm proud of you. Come on, talk. And then cut to commentator.
You're a fucking beast, bro. I'm stoked I didn't have to roll against you. Man, you had all of us worried, man.
I thought I had it easier on it than I slapped up with it. It was an eye contact, too.
All right, guys, we're joined here live with Isaac Cordova, the 10th Planet Qualifier 135-pound champion. Tell me right off the bat, Isaac, how's it feel to win one of these?
Super good. So it's the second one down, second 135 in a row. So came back, felt definitely like I had to hold it for my gym. Just showed the guys like, hey guys, we're right there. Now it's time for somebody else to take the reign after me. Let's go, guys. Where you at?
Hey, you earned your position, no doubt about it today. 3 matches, 3 submission victories. I mean, what was the game plan coming into this tournament?
It's just simplicity, man. Just simplicity. Don't get taken down. Keep everything tight. Find my way on top. Find my way to the RNC. If anything shows itself while I'm squeezing on the way to the RNC, then take it.
Awesome, awesome. And so now you're going to move on to the CJJ Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds, July 30th in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, live on UFC Fight Pass. I mean, what does this mean to you? It's a chance at redemption, getting back in the 135 tournament. Are you looking to take out the favorites? Who do you want in that tournament, Isaac?
It's like the exact same here. So it's like these are my peer groups out there. So we already know who's in it. We know Red's in it. We know Manny Vasquez is in it. Gabriel Daffron and Elias is in it. Same thing here with Chris, with Joe Kai. It's like my peer group. So it's just fun to compete against the guys and just really have a good time. It's like jiu-jitsu doesn't pay enough to have the payout be the outcome, so just enjoying it every day.
That's a really good perspective to have, and you're not wrong about that. Although Combat Jiu-Jitsu World's definitely one of the better paying tournaments out there. We got to give respect where it's due.
100%.
So what do you want to say to the people out there? Is anybody you'd like to thank? Who's helped you along this camp? Your coaches? Any sponsors you want to shout out?
Yeah, much love to 10 Planet Fullerton, Andy Ballmore, Mike John is always in my corner. We go back and forth, repping at these things. And everybody is just too much to mention. Y'all know who you are. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, really awesome display of performance. I mean, I got to be honest, at these 10 Planet Qualifiers, it seems like it's really Orange County and Las Vegas who have won an overwhelming majority of them.
Yep.
I mean, I know we sound a little biased here, but if you just look at the stats, I mean, Derek Rayfield's like a 3-time winner. You've won twice yourself. Michael John's probably been in 4 finals. It's pretty obvious on display. So what's next from you after this? Like, besides the CJJ tournament, what else are you looking to do? Are there any big tournaments on your mind? What's next for Isaac Cordova?
Schedule for the rest of the year is ADCC Tijuana next weekend, then Combat Jiujitsu July 30th, then maybe one more open or not, and then ADCC trials in October, November. So.
Tremendous. That's a full schedule. Well, Isaac, we want to say congratulations once again. Amazing performance.
Very impressive.
3
It was really
submissions,
great
3
watching you,
victories
Isaac.
for him.
Appreciate it.
Very, very impressive performance. I'm Mike Wilson from 10 Planet Whittier, joined here today.
I'm Andrew Murillo from 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Murrieta, California.
We wanted to say thank you guys for joining us and tuning in. Be sure to watch Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds July 30th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Check out the winner here, Isaac Cordova. He's going to be live in the tournament. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great day. Thanks for joining.
10 Planet Fullerton, come trade.
Let's go.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, man, you did really good. Extremely impressive. Great passing, great transitions. Pretty good.